Hello students, welcome to EPG Pathshala. I am Dr. Imtiaz Hassan from Jamia Millia Islamia, a Central University. Today we are going to talk on module fluorescence energy transfer and fluorescence polarization under the paper technique used in the molecular biophysics 2. After studying this module, the student will be able to understand the basic principle of the fluorescence resonance energy transfer. Then we discuss about the factors which are affecting the FRET, how the FRET phenomena is affected by the different factors. Then we discuss about the fluorescence properties that can be measured, what kind of information can be derived from the FRET measurement. Then quenching of fluorescence, what are the factors affecting causes the quenching, what are the different types of quencher like static quenching and dynamic quenching. And then we discuss about the what are the factors which affecting the FRETs, what are the factors which increasing the FRET, decreasing the FRET, and what are the mechanism to affecting the FRET. And at last we discuss about the various types of application of FRET. It's a widely used technique, but we'll just try to highlight some of the major application of the FRET. So before that, going in detail, we first discuss about the basic principle or basic concept of fluorescence spectroscopy. It is the mechanism of FRET involves a donor fluorophore is in excited electronic state, which may transfer its excitation energy to nearby acceptor chromophore in a non-radiative fashion through a long-range dipole-dipole interaction. If the two fluorophores are physically close together, the donor can transfer its energy to the acceptor, which radiates according to its emission spectrum. FRET is of course depending upon the matching of excitation emission spectra, then close physical proximity, and the alignment of dipole moment of the donor and acceptor pair. So these three things are essential for the occurrence of fluorescent FRET phenomena, otherwise FRET can't happen. And the resonance energy transfer can occur only when the donor acceptor molecules are less than 100 angstrom to each other. If it is more than that, then FRET can't occur, and the FRET is not mediated upon by the photon emission. So first we give you brief introduction about the history of the FRET. It's a very old phenomena, but nowadays it's a widely used method especially in the biology and chemistry. So in 1918, J. Perrine proposed the mechanism of resonance energy transfer. Then in 1922, G. Garreau and Frank demonstrated that excitation of a mixture of mercury or thallium atomic vapor at 254 nanometer, the mercury resonance line also displays thallium sensitized emission at 535 nanometer. From that day, the actual fluorescence phenomena was observed, and then it can be utilized further while the progressing of the system. In 1928, H. Coleman and F. London developed the quartz theory of resonance transfer between the various types of atoms in a gas phase. The dipole-dipole interaction and the parameter of R0 are used for the first time. Then subsequently in 1932, F. Perrine published a quantum mechanical theory of energy transfer between molecules of the same species in solution, quantitative discussion of the effect of a spectral overlap between emission spectrum of the donor and the absorption spectrum of the acceptor. And finally, from 1946 to 1949, Theodor Forster first time developed the quantitative theory of the molecular resonance energy transfer. And that's why FRET is also known as Forster resonance energy transfer. We discuss about the Forster or fluorescence resonance energy transfer. You can see here in a picture, the donor atom is excited by the light of particular wavelength. Then it leads to the emission, and this emission is further absorbed by the acceptor molecule, and which gives the another emission, and that is simply collected in the form of fluorescence intensity. When the donor molecule absorbs a photon, there is an acceptor molecule close to the donor molecule. A radiation-less energy transfer can occur from the donor to acceptor, and FRET results in a decrease of fluorescence intensity and lifetime of the donor probe and it enhances the fluorescence of the acceptor probe when acceptor is fluorescent. Now we discuss about what are the criteria essential for the FRET to occur. So the fluorescence emission of the donor molecule must overlap with the absorption or excitation spectrum of the acceptor molecule. The second criteria is that two fluorophore like donor and acceptor must be in close proximity. It should be less in between 10 to 100 nanometer. And the transition dipole pro orientations then of the donor and the acceptor must be approximately parallel to each other. The fluorescence lifetime of the donor molecule must be sufficient for the sufficient duration to allow FRET to occur. I will try to explain you the basic properties of FRET. You can see here that the donor state, donor having two states, donor state and donor ground state. So once donor absorbs the light, it converts into the excited donor state, and then it releases some energy in the form of FRET, which is accepted by the acceptor, and the interaction is a dipole in nature and depends on the distance r of the molecule and the orientation of their transition dipole. So the rate constant Ket of the FRET is given as 1 by tau d into r naught by r to the power 6. So the tau d is the lifetime of the donor in the absence of acceptor, and r naught is a constant for the donor acceptor pair. It is also known as Forster radius. Try to explain the rate of transfer of the excitation energy, which is given by 1 by t tau d into r naught by r to the power 6, where tau d is the fluorescence lifetime of the donor in the absence of acceptor, and r is the distance between the centers of donor and acceptor molecule, and r naught is defined by r naught equals to 0.211 n to the power minus 4 into qd k square j to the power 1 by 6 angstrom, where n is the non-refractive index of the medium, usually between 1.2 to 1.4. Qd is the fluorescence quantum yield of the donor in absence of acceptor. K square is the orientation factor or the dipole-dipole interaction, and J is the normalized spectral overlap integer. E lambda is expressed in terms of per mole per centimeter and lambda is nanometer. J is presented as per mole per centimeter, nanometer to the power 4. And R naught is the Forster critical distance at which 50% of the excitation energy is transferred to the acceptor and can be approximated from the experiment independent of energy transfer. You can see here in a graph that, for example, when the 50% FRET occurs, it gives you the distance of around 50 angstrom. We try to explain the another important parameter, that is the overlap integral J, which is defined as the degree of overlap between the donor fluorescence spectrum and the acceptor absorption spectrum. You can see in the first panel that the absorption spectrum of donor and acceptor are far apart. In the second it's closer, and in the third it is completely overlapped. So J is given as the integration of Fd into lambda Ea lambda into lambda to the power 4 d lambda, where lambda is the wavelength of the light, Ea lambda is the molar extinction coefficient at that wavelength, and Fd lambda is the fluorescence spectrum of the donor normalized on the wavelength scale, where Fd lambda is given as Fd lambda into lambda divided by integration from 0 to infinite Fd lambda into lambda d lambda, where Fd lambda is the donor fluorescence per unit wavelength interval. Further discuss a very important factor, that is the orientation factor K square, which is essential for the FRET to occur. You can see here in the figure that represents the different parameter like the d, theta, r and all these things, which is represented as K square, which equals to cos theta t minus 3 cos theta d into cos theta a whole square, where theta t is the angle between donor and acceptor, which is given as cos theta t equals to sin theta d sin theta a cos phi plus cos theta d cos a, in which theta d, theta a are angles between the separation vector r and the d and a moments respectively, and phi is the azimuth between the planes d, r and a r. The limits of k square are 0 to 4. The value of 4 is only obtained when the both transition moments are in line with the vector r. The value of 0 can be achieved in many different ways. If the molecule undergoes fast isotopic motion like dynamic averaging, then k square equals to 2 to the power 3. We discuss about the determination of energy transfer efficiency, which is given as E equals to kT divided by kT plus sum of the Ki, where kT is the rate of transfer and Ki are all other deactivation process. Experimentally, E can be calculated from the fluorescence lifetime or intensities of the donor determined in absence and presence of the acceptor. So the efficiency E equals to 1 minus tau dA by Td, or E equals to 1 minus fdA by fd. We discussed the distance dependence of the energy transfer efficiency, which is given at r equals to 1 by E naught minus 1 to the power 1 by 6 r naught, where r is the distance separating the center of donor and acceptor fluorophore, and r naught is the Forster distance. The efficiency of transfer varied with inverse of the sixth of the power of the distance. You can see here the 50% transfer occurs when these two, donor and acceptor, are 40 angstrom apart. We discuss about the energy transfer between the molecule of the same fluorophore, like the fluorescein. There exists an overlap between the excitation and emission of a fluorophore. Homo energy transfer is responsible for self-quenching of the fluorophore at high concentration. Now we discuss the lifetime of the fluorophore. It is also one of the important properties where the absorption and emission process are almost always studied on population of molecules, and the properties of the supposed typical members of the population are deduced from the macroscopic properties of the process. In general, the behavior of excited population of the fluorophore is described by a similar rate equation, like as dN by dt equals to minus nt plus ft, where n star is the number of excited elements at particular time t, and tau is the rate constant of the emission, and ft is the arbitrary function of the time describing the time course of the excitation. The dimension of tau are per second, that is the transition per molecules per unit time. If excitation occurs at t0, the last equation takes in the form of excited state into the tau, and it describes that decrease in excited molecules at all further times, and integration gives in this form of equation where the lifetime is equals to T inverse. If a population of fluorophores are excited, the lifetime takes for the number of excited state decay is 36.8% for the original population according to the given equation. You can see here in a graph that if you plot intensity versus the lifetime, you get this kind of curve where excitation and fluorescence phenomena is time dependent, that is a very short time, and giving this kind of plot. So the knowledge of fluorophores excited state lifetime is crucial for quantitative interpretation of numerous fluorescence measurements such as quenching, polarization, and FRET. The lifetime and quantum yield for a fluorophore is often dramatically affected by the environment, especially ANS in water at approximately 100 picosecond, but it can be 8 to 10 nanosecond bound to the when it is bound to the protein. Similarly, ethidium bromide is having a time for the 1.8 nanosecond in water, but 20 nanosecond when it bound to DNA, and 27 nanosecond when it bound to transfer RNA. The lifetime of tryptophan in a protein ranges from approximately 0.1 nanosecond to 8 nanosecond. NADH in water is 0.4 nanosecond, but bound to dehydrogenase it can give as long as 9 nanosecond. In the pictorial form, Nt divided by N naught is given as e to the power t minus t by tau. Now we discuss about the quenching. Quenching is a process which can lead to the reduction in the fluorescence intensity. These processes can occur during the excited state lifetime. For example, collisional quenching, energy transfer, charge transfer reaction, or photochemistry, or they may occur due to the formation of complex in the ground state. We shall focus our attention on the two quenching process usually encountered. One is the collisional quenching, which is also known as the dynamic quenching, and other is the static quenching, that's also called occurs because of the complex formation. So first discuss about the collisional quenching, or namely dynamic quenching. So collisional quenching occurs when the excited fluorophore experiences contact with the atom or the molecules that can facilitate non-radiative transition to its ground state, and these are the common quenchers such as oxygen, iodide, cesium, and acrylamide. In the simplest case of the collisional quenching, the following the relationship is given by the Stern-Volmer equation, that F naught by F equals to 1 plus KSV into Q. So we can explain that F naught and F are the fluorescence intensity observed in the absence and presence of the quencher, and Q is the concentration of the quencher, and KSV the Stern-Volmer quenching constant. In the simplest case, then a plot of F naught by F versus concentration of quencher should yield a straight line with a slope that is equals to KSV. So this is used for the estimation of binding affinity between protein and ligands and many other factors. We discuss about the Stern-Volmer plot, which is given in the case of fluorescence quenched by the iodide, and a linear plot is formed between the F naught by F when plotted against the concentration per mole, and that's used for the calculation of the binding constant between the two molecules. For example, here is given that the fluorescein iodide for the tau 4 nanosecond and binding constant 2 into 10 to the power 9 per mole per second. Now we discuss about the static quenching. In some cases, the fluorophore can form a stable complex with another molecule. If this ground state is non-fluorescent, then we say that the fluorophore has been statically quenched. In such cases, the dependence of fluorescence, such as function of the number of quencher concentration, follows a relation as F naught by F equals to 1 plus K into quencher concentration, where the K is the association constant of the complex. Such cases of quenching via complex formation was first described by the Giorgio Weber. We can see that original plot of the riboflavin quenching by the iodide as a hydroquinone. Note that the plot plot 1 by P versus 1 by I naught. Note how the polarization increases rapidly upon addition of the iodide because of the decrease of the excited state lifetime via the collisional or dynamic quenching. In the case of hydroquinone, initially the intensity decreases with no significant change in the polarization, hence the lifetime is not decreased. Only at higher concentration of hydroquinone we see the evidence for the dynamic quenching. So sometimes both the static and dynamic quenching occur simultaneously. In slide number 23, we discuss that if both static and dynamic quenching are occurring in a sample, then following relation is holds, that is the F naught by F equals to 1 plus KQ tau into tau Q plus into 1 plus Ka into T. So it gives you the different plots when the mixed quenching occur. You can see here that lifetime is unaffected in the presence of quencher. In the case of pure static quenching, a plot of T naught T versus gives the straight line. We discuss about the self-quenching. The intensity of fluorescence is proportional to the concentration of fluorophore in a reasonable concentration range. However, at higher concentration, the fluorophores the proportionally no more satisfied because the significant collisional quenching between the molecules of the fluorophore themselves appear. Now we discuss about the experimental methods. Conventional filter FRET. Apply filter emission band configuration for donor, acceptor and FRET donor excitation and spectrum emission to acquire single images or time series. If the donor signal decreases, acceptor and FRET signal should increases. Then second is the acceptor photo bleaching, which apply donor acceptor configuration to acquire single images or time series. After some control image, acceptor at 514 nanometer is bleached and donor signal increases after the acceptor bleach. Now we discuss about the determination of FRET efficiency. It is first is the intensity based, where the sensitized emission spectra provided is fluorescent decrease in intensity by or quenching by the donor fluorescence. The main problem of intensity based approach is the sensitivity of donor and acceptor concentration. The other approach is the kinetic based method. So decrease in the lifetime or quenching of donor fluorescence decay of the donor, it contains a rise in the initial phase corresponding to the kinetics of donor excitation by FRET. A component with negative amplitude in the fitted decay. Now we discuss about the kinetics of donor bleaching. It is used for the donor fluorescence is usually preferred because the acceptor is usually to some extent excitable by excitation wavelength of the donor. Only a part of the acceptor fluorescence results in a FRET. Now we discuss about the photo bleaching of the donor. Photo bleaching is a decrease in fluorescence intensity due to permanent inactivation of fluorophores. It is usually caused by excited state reaction of the fluorophores in triplet state. For example, with oxygen, photo bleaching is observed mainly at high excitation intensities when a significant fraction of molecule undergoes inter-system crossing. FRET represents an additional de-excitation channel and thus decreases the probability of inter-system crossing and photo bleaching. The decrease in intensity due to the photo bleaching is therefore slower and it is given as 1 minus tau d divided by tau dA, where the tau pb is the intensity or decay time due to the photo bleaching and which is equals to exponential of t by t pb. Photo bleaching measurement is not sensitive to concentration and it doesn't require high temporal resolution or steady state instrumentation. FRET is widely used in distance measurement. It can be used to obtain a structural map of complex biological structure, primarily protein or other macromolecular assembly. Measurement of energy transfer can provide intra or intermolecular distance of the protein with their ligand in a range of 10 to 100 angstrom. FRET can also detect change in distance from 1 to 2 angstrom between loci in protein. Hence, it is sensitive measure of the conformational changes. The donor and acceptor must be within the 0.5 R0 and 1.5 R0 of each other. These measurements give the average distance between the two fluorophores. When measuring change in distance, the results give no indication of which fluorous move. Experiments can be done with the different donor acceptor pair. If the same distance is obtained, the result is very likely correct. Quantitative analysis is restricted to the case where only a few donor and acceptor are present. We want to show that the basic concept of the FRET. You can see here that the both donor and acceptor collides each other, and once they are come close to each other, their FRET generally occur and then it is detected by the detector. We discuss about the fluorophore material used in the bioanalytical FRET. For example, organic materials such as N-hydroxysuccinamide, ester, melanamide, hydrazine, etc. Then fluorescent dye such as the Alexa dye, Sai dye. Then inorganic materials such as metal chelates and semiconductor nanocrystal. Then biological origins are the fluorescent proteins. Now we discuss about the fluorescent proteins which are most widely used for the estimation of biological processes, generally co-localization, transfection, and a lot of biological studies. In this, the green fluorescent protein from jellyfish are widely used, and their expression in the other organism, key internal residue are modified during the maturation to form. So that's the process of expression of this protein is indication of the particular happening of the particular process. It having p para-hydroxybenzylinidine amino imidazolinone chromophore, which is located in the central helix and surrounded by 11 beta strands which having the beta architecture, that is used for the in vivo labeling of the cells, localization and tracing of the target proteins. It exists in the many other variants also, like the variants of gliadin fluorescence protein are blue fluorescence, brown fluorescence protein, cyan fluorescent protein, and yellow fluorescent protein. The red fluorescent protein, DS red from the coral reef, are tetrameric form and slow maturation, and monomeric red form, the red fluorescent protein are developed by protein engineering, which have quantum yield equals to 0.17 of the brown fluorescent protein and 0.79 of the green fluorescence protein, and high change in the red signal ratio. It may be fused to N or C terminal of protein by gene manipulation, so you can directly see the expression of particular gene. Now we discuss the advantages and disadvantages of the FRET techniques. So the first we discuss about the advantages. It is the relatively cheaper process. It is very efficient in measuring change in the proximal distance. It measures distance of the molecule in solution, and it is only need a few microgram of the labeled protein. You don't need much amount of the protein, and it allows the rapid detection. Of course, every technique have their certain shortcomings, so this technique having shortcoming as the uncertainty in the oriented factor when measuring a change in distance between two probes. The results is scalar and give the indication of which probe and no indication of the probe, like the donor and acceptor moves. The presence of free label in solution could also mask the change in the energy transfer. We show that the fluorescence properties that can simply measure the spectra, which gives the environmental effect, fluorescence lifetime, then the polarization, which gives the orientation and dynamics of the molecule, excitation transfer, which gives the distance and dynamics, and the location of fluorescence, which used for the subcellular localization. We give you the important application of the FRET, for example, structure and conformation of the properties. It is used for the spatial distribution and assembly of the protein, receptor and ligand interaction, immunoassay, structure and conformation of nucleic acid, real-time PCR, SNP detection, nucleic acid hybridization, distribution of transport, membrane fusion assay, membrane potential sensing, fluorogenic protease assay, indication of cyclic AMP, biosensing, and microscopy. So students, let's now summarize what we have learned in this module. FRET can be used to spectrally shift the fluorescence emission of a molecular combination. Energy transfer is a non-radiative process, which means that the donor is not emitting a photon which is absorbed by the acceptor, and the absorption spectrum of the acceptor must overlap with the fluorescence emission spectrum of the donor. FRET can be used to obtain a structural map of the complex biological structure, primarily protein or other macromolecular assembly. FRET is defined as a transfer of excitation energy from one chromophore to the other chromophore as given by Forster in 1949, and the efficiency of FRET is correspond to the inverse of the R to the power 6 dependence, and FRET can occur only in a nanometer range. It is widely used in the single molecule tracking, dynamics of the enzyme kinetics, dynamics of the enzyme, like the conformation changes occurs while the substrate binding or inhibitor binding, orientation of fluctuation, and lifetime measurements. The possibility to specifically label certain biomacromolecule sequences just with the fluorescence is another advantage and application of the fluorescence. It is used for the staining and imaging with the various colors, detection of minute amount of substance like for the DNA assay. Then fluorescence lifetime imaging are also used, and fluorescence recovery after bleaching. So these are the various application of the fluorescence spectrometry, especially based on the FRET methods. Thank you very much.